Okay, what's going on? Happy full moon. I just realized that it was a full moon. I haven't done much work with the moon in a while. It's been a hot minute. Okay, anyways, I am here because earlier I was watching a video on a super wicked guy. He's awesome. Anyways, I was watching his video and he posed a question and it was really intriguing. So I had to write this stuff down because I am probably one of, like, I don't want to sound negative here, but I am not good at sitting here and like trying to articulate my words to how I'm feeling. And when I'm channeling information, it's coming at me so fast that it's even hard for me to get those words out and make things sound proper. So it takes me a bit of time to do this. But anyways, it got me thinking. So he had said, like, if you met someone in the future, like present time, and they carried, I don't know, I guess traits. There wasn't really something specific. It was just kind of like a general question. Like if your situation, let's just say situationship instead of like relationship, because it could be a friendship. I don't know what the situation was because it wasn't that clear. But here's what I took out of that. Okay, so he had said, what if that person has a trait or something that reminds you of someone from your past? Sorry, I know that looks silly, but I really don't care because it's like 1:26 a.m. 0 fucks given. Sorry. So I'm just gonna like read off exactly my words, okay, of what I said from start to finish, okay? Because I had to write this shit down. And then I'm going to give you the articulated, clean version that's not a cosmic bunch of mumble jumble that might sound like it's kind of like all over the place. Okay, here it goes. Okay, so when we come to Earth, we pick to choose what we're here for, right? So we have soul missions that we're picking, like what we're doing when we come here. So what if you met your perfect person, but something about them is similar to someone from your past, and maybe that person had done you wrong or did you ill or whatever the case is? Okay, so can you look past that in the new person? Welcome back. Here we go, take 2. So now, since the question was kind of like an open, I don't want to say an open-ended question because I don't even know if that would be the right way of saying it. But since the question was kind of vague, because like if you look at that, you can be like, okay, I'm just gonna sit my ass down. Are we talking about a characteristic of the person? Are we talking about a trait that's within that person? Because here's the thing. If I was to say what would I do? Would I run away? Yada. There is really only one, like, we're gonna get real for a second here. There's only one time, probably throughout my entire life, which is, one time, that I have never feared for my life so fucking hard. And it's something that I had blocked out for a long time, like I'm gonna say a good 7 years before I actually opened my mouth and said something, because it was just like eating me alive. But it scared me and shook me to my core so freaking hard that the words that this person spoke to me and what was done to me, I'm not going to get into it because we don't need to get into that. That's something that doesn't need to be hashed out again. That's the only time that you would see me like running the opposite direction and not ever looking back. The chances of that happening, I can't even, that's not even what we're here to talk about at the end of the day. That's just like me sidestepping here because, like I said, the question was kind of left open a bit there. So I needed to kind of get that out of the way to make that kind of known. So now we're gonna like kind of switch topics, and we're gonna go to, I gotta be careful because there's like neighbors sleeping out here, and I needed somewhere well lit, and that's not friggin' hot, and it's just perfect temperature outside. I love autumn. I'm probably gonna have to restart this in a second too. But anyway, it got me thinking. I always like to, and I'm sorry for a lot of my ums and ahs. I promise I'll get better at this stuff. It's because I'm trying to talk to a camera. I'm trying to pretend I'm talking to a person, but it's kind of hard because that person, I'm not making eye contact, so it's very difficult to. Okay, 3, 2, 1, we're back. Okay, where was I at here? Okay, so I mentioned all the stuff about that, Okay, so back to this again, okay? So now, since we've got that out of the way, okay, we're gonna move along to, so say you're like me and you're a Pisces and you overanalyze absolutely everything. Like, I mean, like when I have a situation happen, I will sit there and I will think of, and I don't know if it's a healthy thing or not a healthy thing, but it's how my brain works. And it's the only way that my brain operates properly is if it goes through this process. So I analyze everything because that was my cat. I thought it was a raccoon coming after me. You're gonna see me run. See, that will make me run. So if you're a raccoon, that might make me run too. But if you're a cute raccoon, I'll probably cuddle you, as long as you don't bite. You don't have rabies. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sidetracked. I just have so many thoughts like coming to my head all in one shot, and I'm having a very hard time staying focused. Okay, so let me just go back to here. Of course, this is gone now. Okay. So say you have 3 people, okay? And you are making soul contracts before you come back to Earth. So say I needed to come here to learn a particular thing. And then let's just say my buddy Joe Blow, he needs to come back and learn something, or she, or whatever, has to come back. Whatever they decide to come back as. Let's just put it that way, okay? So let's just say the soul's got no gender. It's just the soul's the soul. It's love. So anyways, you end up making a deal with them. Not so much the devil trying to put, I don't know, like, because I guess I like to look at things from other angles. I don't like to just try and, I like to think, like, if I have to put myself into somebody else's shoes and I need to look at it from 50 different angles, not just 1 or 2 different ways. Because my brain then continues to ask, why, but why? And then it like leads me sometimes down these freaking rabbit holes, but it's like, knowledge is key at the end of the day. And when you're constantly asking why, like why is something happening the way it is? Why? And then you search for the answers, you know? Here, I'm just gonna put this down because I'm tired of holding it. Okay, yeah, we're back. You know what, maybe we can just have a cigarette if you guys don't mind. I am a smoker, and you know what? Yeah, I suffer from addictions and all that fun jazz, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, everybody's got their vice, right? And it is what it is. Oh my Lord, that's a sign. I need to get my body prepared. Okay. So anyways, I can't go off these notes anymore because I'm using someone else's phone and I don't know the password to get back into it. And I hope to God that this comes through and you can hear me because I'm having a whisper. Okay. So let's just say we have 3 individuals and we're up there and we all make this pact. And it's like, okay, so when we get down there, you know, like, how do I find you? How do I know that, you know, you're the person that I'm supposed to be doing such, you know, learning such lesson with, or teaching you, or whatever the case is. You're teaching me the lesson, and I'm teaching you the lesson. You know what I mean? We're both teaching each other. I guess that's what it is. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what's coming up behind me. If you're still here and you're still listening, like, God bless you. You got patience. I have to really edit this video. Okay, back to my whole point. So you have these lessons that need to be learned. So instead of thinking that it's like the devil just came and put these people in these places to make me not want the ultimate, you know, my twin, my reflection. Sure, maybe there's things to mislead you, but what if they're actually like an Easter egg, and they're planted there for a specific purpose? This is what dawned on me when I was like, I need to, like, I started typing a message back on YouTube, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I need to sit this and articulate this a little bit more and think about this, because like that back again. So what if they're like an Easter egg, and the only okay, let me just go back again. See, and this is why I can't just record shit like this, because I'm having a very hard time doing this. Okay, so we're like, okay, how are we gonna recognize each other? Because when we come back to Earth, we are going to be forgetting everything. Like, our memory, we're not gonna have that memory. We have to slowly have things to be able to remember, if that makes sense. Remember what we forgot, okay? So that leads me to, people have freckles, they have all types of markings on their body. So like, what if those particular markings are actually like an Easter egg trail to lead you to for your brain to remember what you're there to serve that person with, like what your purpose is with that person, I guess you could say. So let's just now start it. Like, okay, so you get person number 1, okay? Person number 1, let's use an analogy of a tattoo, because it's the easiest thing that I can use and say, okay? So say the person has a tattoo, but it's not a real tattoo. So that's person number 1. Person number 1 has a stamp that's been stamped onto their body or drawn, okay? Marker, whatever. And I remember that, and I know that, okay? Because I could have maybe been the one who drew it for that person, okay? Are you kidding me, man? Okay, yo. If this is a fucking Mustang, a white Mustang, I'm gonna shit myself, okay? I'm seriously gonna shit myself. I shouldn't even be recording this person. This is so wrong, but if this is a Mustang, I'm gonna shit myself. No, it's not a Mustang, because it's not roaring like a Mustang. It's just a lap track. So say person number 2. Person number 2 doesn't have that. But then later on, like a few years later, person number 2 goes out and buys a tattoo gun. And person number 2 gives himself exact same tattoo that person number 1 with the fake tattoo had. Okay? Are we following me so far? Okay? So person number 1 was a drawn-on tattoo. Person number 2 is a real tattoo done by themselves. But you can tell it's not professional, and it might be a little bit sloppy, and they might have screwed up a few times in the process of doing it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that at all. That's not what I'm saying. It's going to go with my whole analogy here. And then person number 3 shows up. Person number 3 has the exact same tattoo, the exact placement as the others, but it's professional, and it looks good, and it looks like it's supposed to be there. It's meant to be there, not just like it was placed there for, I don't even understand, like a marking, just to be like, this is how you're supposed to know, and this is how you're supposed to remember. So, now, person number 3, it's not just about the marking at this point, because now everything else that goes with that person becomes a feeling and becomes very, 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 very real, extremely real. And it's something that you've never felt or experienced, so you know that feeling is like otherworldly. Like, that's the only way you can describe it. It's like the person speaks your language, the language that you're. So I don't know how, without like writing all of this stuff down again, I don't know how to go about going back and forth on my phone between recording and trying to read what it is that I need to read you. The clean, articulated version of everything that I've just pretty much said to you in the manner that I've just said to you. And I didn't even get to read it off of what I was going to read it off of, because the phone timed out on me, because I was trying to just talk from my heart rather than just going back off of the piece of paper again. So bear with me for a minute, because now I'm going to have to go inside and like, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to take a picture, because I'm going to have to edit this video, and I'm going to add the articulated version at the end of this. So people, if you don't want to sit there and listen to me jibber jabbering for, I don't know how many minutes, this is probably at least 20 minutes of scattered thoughts. You don't have to, you can fast forward to the end. I'll give you the timestamp too, how about that? And I'd really like to shout out, the other channel, and I hope the person's going to be okay with me doing this. I'm sure they will be. I can't see why they wouldn't want me to be okay with shouting them out. But what I'll do is I will link that in the description. Oh shit, I can't do that because I can't upload videos like this. It's gonna be a short. How am I gonna do this? Okay, to be determined. This might be multiple shorts. I don't know how long this is gonna allow me to upload. But anyways, we'll see if I can figure it out. Either way, I need to get this message out one way or the other. Anyways, I love you all. Reflection. I love you so much. And I hope this all made sense. And maybe it helped you open your eyes a little bit. Maybe you learned something from it.